So who would like to tell me how they manage the psychological aspects of living with epilepsy? Who'd like to kick off there?
I guess the way I've sort of dealt with any sort of negative mental health things over the years has been really trying to normalize it amongst my friends and family, especially because I live away at uni. I've really had to ensure that the people I live with know, what epilepsy is, what to do, especially as my seizures have got worse during my time at uni. There's a little pin to my door in the flat in the house. There's a list of things to do if Joe has a seizure. And every time a new person comes around, they read that. My mum and dad's number on there. I'm like, they're 200 miles away. What good is calling them? For me, uni is quite a sort of, taking the piss out of each other, taking the mix sort of thing. And I've very much made epilepsy part of something that people would take the piss out of me for, in the same way that I'd take the piss out of other friends for stuff like that. I suppose we are a house of 5 other boys, so that is that kind of culture in a way, but like I really play into it as like people take the piss out of me that it's like the third thing I say to people, like, hi, I'm Joe, I study psychology, I have epilepsy, and my PlayStation name is Captain Epilepsy. Like it really is part of me, and I have normalized it in that sense.
I think basically memory loss, I'm sure a lot of us will suffer from that. For me, weirdly, the seizures, a bit like Joe, I'm very lucky, like my twin and my best friends, it's all become quite kind of a normal kind of in joke about the fact I'm epileptic. I've grown up with the same kind of friends. And at uni, likewise, we all made jokes about it. When new friends come into the group, they're always slightly scared the moment you say you're epileptic and probably like get terrified. There's a lot of debates about what they need to do in the first conversation you have with them, rather than finding out anything else. It's normally what happens if this happens. But for me, I think the biggest difficulty I've had is just living with very severe ongoing memory loss, which I don't think will ever change. So it's more the coping mechanism of knowing I'm not going to remember a lot of my life, which I guess is great for stuff like COVID, because I'm going to be one of the few people that probably won't remember the shit show of the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, when I got it, which was 15, I was going to senior school, so like GCSEs, and we struggled there getting the support I needed from adults. And I mean, like, the teachers are meant to be the, like, I guess, role models. And so you can't like expect your peers to be nice and understanding if the teachers can't be.
Yeah, so I totally agree. I think there isn't much awareness. I think probably as well because there's so many different types of epilepsy and everyone's experience with it is different. So just like the other said, I think, I think one of the reasons I didn't get diagnosed for so long is because I wasn't affected by flashing lights. I wasn't having tonic-clonics whilst I was conscious. And every time, like Hum said, I would try and explain these visions and, I was saying some weird stuff whilst I was having them, and every single person was just so baffled as to what they could be. Is it a mental health problem? Is it have a brain tumor or something? But anytime I thought it could be epilepsy, everyone was like, oh no, but it can't be that because it doesn't, match up with the stereotypical symptoms. So I think, yeah, there's definitely should be some more education on what it is, so that we can all gain a better understanding and then give more support to people that are going through it.
And Liv, coming to you, you mentioned a couple of concerns already. You mentioned concerns about medication, about when the next seizure might happen. If I were to say to you, give me a little list of the things that worry you, what would be on that list?
With just epilepsy?
Yeah,
quite a few, I think. Like understanding, like people understanding, like every year, like at college, when I like start like a new like course or like have new teachers, I have to explain and explain and explain, and that shouldn't be the case, because people, oh, you have seizures, what do I have to do? And it's like, they're just absences. Like, I'll be okay, I just need things repeated. Then when you ask for things get in repeat, they're like, oh, you should have been listening. And it's like, sometimes it's like talking to a brick wall.